Welcome to the video. Here's the email design system that I use to generate emails like this that I'll be sharing with you in this video. So if you do want to design emails like this on a consistent basis with your own style, with your own themes and all of those things, then you've come to the right place. So bust out a notepad if you want to take notes, or sit back and let's get into it. So let's go. Now, a little bit of an intro. If you don't know, my name is Devoyo, a 5 to 7 figure e-commerce email marketing expert, and I've helped brands on the lower end starting out and really establishing their email marketing and helping them attribute month-on-month returns. And I've helped brands on the higher end doing 1 million+ in annual revenue, and I've helped give them direction. I've helped tailor their email marketing designs, and overall I've just helped the system. I've helped them recognize where they need to really optimize their email marketing system for better performance. So if you are an e-commerce brand doing over 10K in monthly recurring revenue, I can help you generate an additional 25% in email monthly revenue within the next 30 days, and you only pay if and when it happens. So there are 2 spots left, simply because this gives us focus and helps us dedicate more energy and focus to your brand, so your brand's emails can firmly be positioned to not only deliver a quality brand experience but also generates revenue over the interim. Hence why there are 2 spots left, if you wanted to know. But if you are an ecom brand who wants to take the first steps but have been burned before by poor agencies or poor email marketers, or you've heard this story before, there is a free email audit that you can claim. It will always be free. So when you are ready, you can definitely reach out to me. The contact details will be in the description. But yeah, that's me. So let's get into it. Let's get into the system. Now, a little bit of history, just to kind of give you perspective of where I kind of started in my journey and where I am currently in my journey. Um, here's on the far left, you can see, let me just zoom into that. Here's the very first email design that I ever conducted ever. So this was a very flat design that was mostly just my attempts of trying to copy all the inspiration and all the creative other brands that I was seeing do email marketing, and I thought to myself that let me try those things. Let me see what I can do there. And just long story short, the first 4 emails that I ever designed were very flat. It was literally this type of design, but just flat, 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 flat. And I didn't understand why my designs weren't improving, even though I was dedicating more hours and more time and more, attention to this. And I didn't understand why it was not growing at all. Like, I think this design probably took me 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, somewhere around that time frame to just complete it or just map out everything correctly. So that's a stupid amount of time that is wasted because of the what I like to call creative swirl. It's like where you see all these creatives and you think that you can implement that, but if you don't have like the fundamentals or whatever in place, then you start to just spiral, and then you just waste time because you're thinking of so many, you're overcomplicating it essentially, right? So after I learned the basics and I guess started to implement my own system that I will be sharing now, um, my design is definitely just improved overall. This was literally my 5th design that I ever designed. The first one that you saw in the catalog, my 5th one, completely like changed my design appeal, I would say. So you can just see that how the logo just seamlessly blends with the photo selection, the way I'm putting copy or positioning copy, the CTAs, the subtleties, the white space that I'm utilizing to kind of make this text emphasized, smaller CTA to draw attention to it, the color contrast, all of those things, smaller text, product imagery, brand events, footers and stuff like that. So I definitely then started to understand that, oh, okay, this is how this needs to be done, incorporating the themes and all of that. So this is my fifth design, and moving on again, this is now I think my 13th 13th design, and the styles in this are completely almost like night and day in a sense, where this is more like elegant, more luxury esque or something of that nature in terms of the aesthetic. And then here you see it's more, popping, it's more, excuse me, it's more, I guess, fun, edible, modern in its approach. Uh, be it that it's two different brands, but you can see that if you receive this and you receive this, you would think that it will come from two different people or two different, designers because of their style or the elements that they're incorporating. But it's literally just the same system that I've managed to, draft out that I used. So this one's a little bit better because I started to incorporate more, you know, I guess seamless elements and other things in the design to kind of make it pop a little bit more. So yeah, and then here's my latest design. So now I'm doing concepts as well for brands that don't even have any type of emails that I can reference, and just thinking of the design from scratch, just looking at the brand, looking at their social pages, and then just designing it from scratch. So here's one of the design concepts, my most recent design concept that I did for a brand called Professor E. And here's, I guess, where the creative colors are flying. But on the same note, I'm still using the same system that's helping me design for basically all these other emails that I've managed to design and the ones that you saw in the catalog. So, you know, uh, yeah, it's to me it's bulletproof, but I'll try to teach it the best I can. So let's get into the system. What are you doing in Vuyo? What are you really doing? And here it is. Three items: workflow, design psychology, creative framework. Those are the three items that you will always utilize in your design work to make sure that you always get the best out of your designs, or you can at least see the system elements of your design, as opposed to just making a creative of just inspiration or for aloof or something, and then you can't replicate that exact creative I would say bar or standard into your next one, and then your next one, and then your next one. So having these three items or three elements is probably the biggest key that I managed to unlock in just generating consistent emails. And plus the time to design is just completely like shortened. Like it took me about, I would say, an hour and a half to do this. And then probably here, the blue one here, probably took me an hour. Yeah. So from 5 hours from doing this to like 1 hour, like that's time. Time is money, bro. Time is so much money. So yeah, let's get into it. Right. So workflow. Number one, Adobe Suite of Figma. You need to understand the tools that you are navigating. This is your house, right? This is your home. This is your atelier. This is your creative studio. This is home. If you don't know how to navigate through your home, you don't know where the kitchen knives are, you don't know where the food is, you don't know where the fridge is, you don't know where the bathroom is, wada, you're not going to be able to design anything worthwhile. Let me just be honest with you right now. You need to understand the tools that you're using. So with Figma, because that's the tool that we're in, you need to know how to move, how to easily create frames. You need to know how to utilize your shapes. You need to know how to utilize your pen tool to free draw, pencil, text. You need to understand your excuse me, your design bar here, text, sizes, spacing, center aligning things over here. You just need to overall understand the navigation. As same with the Adobe Suite, with Photoshop and Illustrator, that bar thing. I don't use Adobe Illustrator, but I know that there's like a bar thing that you can use here, and then it has like all your tools. But yeah, that's probably the number one thing that you need to understand. before designing any type of thing. Understand your workflow. Understand that you can pull from widgets, from components, from other resources that the community is giving, and knowing how to navigate through your workflow. So number one. Right, design psychology. Just design more. I've heard this advice so many times that it's actually comical at this point. But in honesty, just to be completely real, you do just need to design more. However, don't do it blindly, right? Because if you're designing inconsistent designs, or they're not, up to par, then somebody telling you to do more of that, it's not going to help you. Honestly, it's just not going to help you, because you're not going to learn what you actually need to do to actually make the designs better or more quality. So don't just design blindly, but you do need to do more, but don't do it blindly, is what I'm trying to say. So design is an art plus a science, meaning you can have your own style and your own creative flair, but you can only enhance it with the basic fundamentals, right? Here's a message that I managed to like reduce it to. You need to understand this to your core, your absolute core. You need to stomach it, you need to bathe in it, you need to immerse yourself in it. Here it is. Creativity is an Creativity is endless. Fundamentals have an end. I'll say it again because I know you didn't hear me. Creativity is endless. Fundamentals have an end. Meaning that you will always be able to extract some level of creativity from somewhere, who knows where, from movies, from architecture, from this, from that. All these, places that you can look, you will find creativity in the pen that you're holding, in the glass that you're looking at, in the spoon that you're eating from. Creativity is endless, right? So you, there's a never ending, occurrence of that, but fundamentals have an end. There's a reason why, something is designed the way it is. There's a reason why a glass is elongated, and you can pour liquids in it, and you can still, grasp it and hold it. There's a reason that design why a spoon has its handle that's, long, and all of these things. Those are the fundamentals that you just need to learn. Those are the basics that you only need to learn once, and then you can just implement them in different ways and different means forever. Right? Please stomach this to your core. Right, moving on. So, you can get all the inspiration in the world and then some, but it won't help if you don't learn the basics. Here are the basics. And I'm not going to explain them because I want you to actually go deep into them and to research them and to understand them and to really, create your own system around it as well. I want you to add on to it. I don't want you just to copy me. There's no point in copying me, because on some level, I know exactly what I need to do when coming into a design, and you will know what you need to do when you're coming into a design. It's not like we're gonna have the same ideation or the same what you call mental processing the same information, right? But we can all still, back on the basics and, understand the basics, and then, implement our own creative flows into any type of design. So don't copy me. Just see what I'm saying, and then be like, okay, I just need to learn those. And then once you learn those, then it's like, oh, I understand what he's saying. I understand what he's doing, or how he did that, or what he's trying to do, or da, da, da. So here are the basics. Please research these, because these are your keys right here. These are your actual keys. So design hierarchy, emphasis, white space, rule of three, zigzag technique, reverse triangle, typography, contrast, balance, harmony, texture, color. I said harmony again because harmony is important. Aesthetics, gradient types, repetition, positioning, layout, ordering. Understand these, and your designs will all the output of your designs will be almost like a chef's kiss every single time. Now, moving on, creative framework. Find your inspiration. I'm not saying inspiration is bad or anything, but you can't solely depend on inspiration to always output good designs. But it's always essential to have inspiration from other people who have known all the basics, and they know exactly the design psychology, and they know how to navigate their workflows and all of those things. And finding inspiration from those type of people, then you can start to hope understand that, okay, they did this because of this, they did this because of this, and you start to break it down. Just on a fundamental level, you can just break any type of design down to see what the designer was actually going for. So really good emails, Behance, Dribble, other companies, have Apple on your board or whatever, if you like the minimalistic approach, or you like the style, or you like Nike, I don't know, whatever company, Pinterest, architecture, movies, etc. There's so many places that you can really draw inspiration from. So don't be afraid to, get stuff from even history books, read the books, feel the texture, libraries, just, see the design, just immerse yourself in how things were created, type of thing. And then you can just draw inspiration from it. So next point, understand who you are designing for. Yo, this is big. Design is subjective, because what you think is good sometimes may not come across as what other people think are good, you know? So always design in mind, or always keep in mind that if you're designing for somebody else, they have their own preconceived notions of what they want to expect from, I guess, a brand, or from a certain category of music, category, digital outreach, anyways, or a certain category of brand or caliber of medium that they want to receive, right? So you need to keep that in mind, that they have their own um, visual elements that they would like to receive, rather than receiving, something completely different. Like for example, Apple's brand is literally just minimalistic, pure white, all of those things, emphasis, things of that nature. If they start adding colors like, I don't know, orange and mesh gradients and all these random things, that's not going to appeal to their core audience. No matter what design you do, even if it's such a spectacular design, it wouldn't make sense, because it's not for that audience. So always keep that in mind. Don't complicate things. Don't complicate things. Don't complicate things. Don't complicate things. Start basic and then build from there. Because the second you start complex and try to break it down for yourself, it's going to be hard to communicate that idea to anyone. Sure, you might understand it, but then at the same time, it's like you're making the process seem harder than it needs to be. So always start with the basic ideations of anything, then build from there, because it's easier to start with one small block, or one square simple block, then build on top of it. Okay, maybe a triangle, or maybe a circle, or whatever. Then it is to build up this crazy abstract concept, and then try to break it down to be like, oh no, but it's actually this. Don't do that. Don't complicate it. Start simple. Thank you. Draft more, draft more, draft more, draft more. So these are literal scribbles that you could just write on pages. I'm such a, I'm a draft king. I think that's the term. I'm a draft king. So I've drafted like, probably 45 emails, just scribbling and just throwing up ideas to kind of see the visuals of it, and then my brain just automatically just fills in the colors to be like, okay, I could do this, to do that, all of those things. And the reason I do it is because I actually got the idea from an architect. His name's Frank Frank Lloyd Wright. Yes, yes, yes. And he did this architecture. It's an iconic piece called Falling Water, and he drafted that on the back of a brown paper bag in 15 minutes and said, I'll design this for you. Then obviously he got paid, and then he designed it, then it became iconic. But the fact that he did a whole, like, just search Falling Water, and you will see like how crazy that is, that he drafted that in 15 minutes. But that's the point. You just need to draft more to kind of, fill in those weird ideas that you do have. Like let's say you can't turn it off. Like you can't. Yeah, draft more, throw your ideas there, have your bad ones, have your good ones, and then implement them in your actual designs. Then you'll be like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. These are like gym reps, essentially, your gym design reps. All right. And then also use the tools that you're using for other things. I'm using it for a video right now, and I've designed, I guess, this workflow or whatever in a type of way that has helped me kind of utilize my design skills as far as they've come. So just use it for other things. It doesn't necessarily just need to be for emails, and that's the end of it. So you log on, then you're like, okay, email, okay, I don't know how to do this, okay, then you just kind of go away. Like, use it for other things. Take AI generated photos from Mid Journey or whatever, then just throw it in Figma, throw it in Adobe, see if you can trace it, see if you can try to copy it, see if you can try to do anything with it. Make some content about it. Do whatever you want. Like there's no constraint on it, type of thing. So yeah, use it for other things. It doesn't need to be for emails and emails only. Yeah. So here's the email design framework that I use. As a guideline more so than anything else. Sometimes the percentages do change, but this is definitely like my heart right here. This is my heart, my design heart. I mean, um, so 20% typography, 20% quality images, 20% accessibility. So that's your contrast, your dark mode, your color theory. 20% layout setting, then 10% theme and style. Theme and style is so theme could be like the brand theme. Well, what's the brand centered around? And my style is kind of how I design, or how I can design for their audience. And trying to find inspiration around that. So it could be like, for example, I think there's Y2K style, minimalist style, brutalist style. Like there's a whole bunch of styles out there that you can kind of start to implement in your own style and create unique designs and all of that. Then 10% white space. Some people call it negative space. And then just bonus, adding maybe gifs in your emails, gifs in your emails to kind of give yourself a little bit of engagement and make some emails pop. But yeah, simplicity is key, and don't overthink things. Just keep drafting, keep trying, and just follow this workflow or this creative email design system. And I can guarantee you that after learning some of the basics, learning how to implement some of these uh, frameworks into your own framework, then yeah, you will definitely be on your way to designing more uh, designs that were previously shown in the catalog. So let's just go to it again. Yeah, so that's essentially the video. If you do have questions or want to ask anything, leave a comment, leave a like, leave whatever, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But that's essentially it. I will put the email design system as a PDF for free that you can just download and you can reference whenever you want. It's signed by me, so you know that it's legit. But yeah, that's the video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this useful.